Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Let me explain a bit. I don't have Discord no more. I have lost my Discord account and I'll probably just end up making a new one. And um so this video has been delayed by a week. I was going to make a review on this last Saturday, but I just was been busy lately. So these two are two really awesome figures and I was very shocked to find them. I found them at GameStop. They were being sold. There's only one of them, only one, and they are really great figures. So we'll start off with the box, the packaging style. So the box is huge. It's really big. It's giant. It's bigger than a Voyager class box, and it's bigger than um. There's a price sticker, and then here's the box, the side, the front, the 2021 crossover Transformers, and that's how it looks. And then the bag, it says all that in the bag in different languages. It's licensed by Ford, an official Ford product. That's what it says. And then the bottom's the sticker, $104. I think it might be overpriced a bit because it's only a leader class and a deluxe class. And then that's how it looks. And so the car in there is fake. It's actually just made out of cardboard. It's not a real car. And then here it is compared with a later class box. So it is bigger than a later class box. And then here it is compared to a commander class box. There it is compared to a commander class box. And it's not as tall, but it is longer. So we'll get right into Tyranicon Rex. On the box it refers to her as a she, so she's a she. And then this is an exact remold of the Kingdom Megatron. It has articulation, it has one regular hand, and then the head can move around. And if you move the head all the way back, it becomes kind of loose. But if you put it back up, it's strong again. So this is an exact remold. Only the head is a new head sculpt, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't own the Kingdom Megatron. And so there she is compared to Earthrise Optimus Prime. And she's much bigger. And then here she is compared to JP93. And that's how they look together. And then here he is compared to Gigawatt. And then here he is compared to 86 Slug. There they are. Slug is bigger, just slightly. And then here she is compared to Ectotron. And then here she is compared to the 86 Grimlock. And that's how they look together. And then transformation wise, it is kind of hard to it's not hard, but you have to really be specific with it. There's a lot of panel locking and a lot of locking it in place, and it does take a while for me to transform it. And it is complicated. It did come in its T-Rex mode, and the JP93 did too. And it did take me a while to learn how to transform it, and so that's what you do. You gotta unclip a lot of panels and stuff, and then it does take some time to get used to it, to transform it. And then some of the panels don't lock in place. They just don't lock in place. Then you gotta swing those things down. And then I can't unpeg it. I just can't do it on my copy. It's just so tight to unpeg the legs from one another. I've tried, but I'm afraid I'm gonna break it because of how hard you have to pull on it. And then you gotta lock all the panels in on the chest of the dinosaur, and sometimes it locks in place, sometimes it doesn't. And then for the legs, I use a little small knife to separate them because it just doesn't unlock no matter what you do. So that's what I have to do on my copy. And then you peg it in into the sides, the legs, and then they did say it's an exact remold of the Kingdom Megatron. I think it's all the same transformation. I'm not sure. And then you gotta lock it all in place. Then you gotta flip the tail around, and then it locks in place mostly. And then that's how it looks. The chest panels don't really align. They do sometimes, but sometimes they don't too. And that's how she looks in her T-Rex mode. And then see, the panels don't really lock in place. She has articulation and the legs can move. And then her arms are real small. And then her mouth can open a bit. And then that's how she looks from the back. The tail doesn't like to lock in place too. And then there she is compared to Grimlock. And then here she is compared to Slag or Slug, whatever you want to call him. And then here she is compared to Gigawatt. And then here she is compared to and then here she is compared to Ectotron. And she is bigger than most of them. And then here she is compared to Earthrise Optimus Prime. And that's how they look together. And then here she is compared to JP93. And they do come packaged like this. They both come packaged in the robot in the vehicle modes. Tyranicon Rex doesn't really like to stand. It's hard to get her to stand sometimes, but most of the time it's okay. And then there she is compared with JP93. Then her mouth, oh, see, she fell again. Then her mouth can open, and there is a blast effect. You can put a blast effect in there, and that's how she looks. It's really good for you. Her tail can move too, and she does have small little arms. They can move on a ball joint, so they can move. Okay, on to JP93. So this is JP93, and his arms can bend, and they can go out to the sides and everything. He does have a gun. It's just a kind of a generic gun. He does have a hat, and he can look around, and there he is on the back, and he has the doors on the side of him. And then his arms can move around, and then that's how he looks. And then here he is compared next to Earthrise Optimus Prime, and that's how they look together. And Optimus is bigger. JP93, he's deluxe class size, and here he is compared with Tyrann. It's hard to say her name, Tyranicon Rex, and that's how she was compared to him. And then here he is compared to Gigawatt. And then here he is compared to Ectotron. And then here he is compared with Studio Series 86 Slug, or Slag, whatever you want to call him. And then here he is compared with the 86 Grimlock, and Grimlock and Slag are much taller than him. And then for transformation, you gotta remove his gun, you gotta flip out his arms, and then put his legs together. And then you gotta unclip the bottom of his legs to unclip those two panels. And then those two panels can flip over to become the roof of the car. Then you gotta flip in his hands into his arms. His transformation is kind of basic. It's real simple. And then you gotta unpeg the panel in front of his head, but I can't do it, so I used the gun to unpeg it. And then you gotta flip back his legs, flip back the windshield, and then for the arms, you gotta unpeg them and fold his arms under him. And then it'll bring the wheel so it can transform it. And then you gotta do that to both sides, and then you can close the doors on both sides. And then he turns into the Jeep from Jurassic Park. And then the gun can store under him. And then that he does transform really clean, and the bottom there's no kibble hanging off. And the gun it's optional if you want to peg it onto him at on the bottom. But you can't really tell it's pegged in under him. So I do store it there. And that's how he looks in the vehicle. The doors sometimes don't align perfectly, and the panels on top they don't, but most of the time they do. And that's how he looks. And then here he is compared with Ectotron. Here he is compared to with Ectotron. And then here he is compared with Gigawatt. They're about the same size. And then here he is compared with Tyranicon Rex. And I think they scale really well together. And then here he is compared with 86 Grimlock. And Grimlock is much bigger still. And then here he is compared with Slug. And then here he is compared with Earthrise Optimus Prime. And that's how they look together. He can't fit in Optimus's trailer, or he can't fit in Rodimus's trailer either. So those are my final thoughts on these two, and I think they're great fixes. I would recommend them, but it is kind of more expensive than an average Transformer. So, I will just I did get a new phone too. I hope you guys noticed the camera quality is better, and that's why I lost my Discord account. And I'll stop posting more regularly. So bye for now. Subscribe and like. Bye.